Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kemji, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and turn notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video in this channel. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this BUBU kaftan dress with tight waist that I'm actually putting on, and as you can see, it's over at the screen. So if this is something that you're actually interested and you really want to actually sew this dress, then you have to keep watching this video, because I have made sure that this video is well detailed and easily explanatory, so that you can actually understand it step by step, and especially for what beginners friendly. So please do get engaged in this video, and let's get started. Thank you. So to begin now, here are the materials needed. We have our tape, our chalk, our scissors, and our 3 yards of Duchess fabric, and then our measurements. So here, as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold my material, and I'm going to be cutting the back first so that I can use the back to cut the front. So what I'm just simply going to do is to take the measurement of our dress, that's the full length, and the full length I'm working with is actually 58 inches plus 2 inches for my down folding, because I would love to have a big folding. The next I'm going to be doing now is to actually get the shoulder of this our dress, and the shoulder I'm working with is actually 15 divided by 2. I'm going to have 7.5, and I just basically marked that there. So next I'm going to do now is to determine how long I want the sleeve to actually be, because this is going to be a BUBU dress. So I'm going to measure from the shoulder there to the sleeve length. That's where I want it to actually be, and what I'm going to be working with is actually 16 inches. So I'm just going to mark that right there as you see me do so. So this is just me actually confirming that I actually marked 16 inches, as you can see right there. So the 16 inches I actually marked there is for my sleeve and the folding, 2 inches for my folding, and then it bounces back to what 14 inch for the normal sleeve length. After that, at the point where I mark my 16 inches for my sleeve length, I'm just going to come down by 1 inch so that I can give my shoulder that slope. Just as you can see, that's what I'm doing there. So after that, next I'm going to do now is at the neck region, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch, and then for the width of my neck, because this is a back neck, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inch, and I'm just going to connect that together and draw my curve for my neck. So next I'm going to be doing now is to connect this point that I came down by 1 inch at my length. So I'm just going to connect that point there to my shoulder using my ruler. I'm just going to connect it to a slant line, just as you can see me do in this video. So after connecting that, now next I'm going to do now is to determine how big or wide I want my BUBU sleeve to be. So what I'm going to be working with basically is actually 12 inches. So from that point that you can see me there doing, from that point I'm going to come down by 12 inches, and I'm just going to mark that right there. So what I'm going to just do is to connect that 12 inches all through this dress now, so that I can draw a straight line. So after drawing the straight line, next I'm going to do is to determine my bust, and my bust is actually 36 divided by 4. I'm going to have what 9 inches, which I'm just going to mark that right away. So after marking your bust point, I'm going to be adding 5 inches here, and this 5 inches is basically varies. It depends on you, depending on how big you want your BUBU dress to be. So me, I'm basically going to be using 5 inches here. You can use 4, you can use 6, you can use 8, just depending on you. So next I'll just do is to go ahead now and connect my sleeve length. That's this point. I'm just going to connect it together so that I can then proceed to ensure that my bust point, that is my size of BUBU gown, I'm just going to go down and connect it together using my ruler, just as you see me do in this video. So after that, I'll go ahead now and cut it, and this is basically what we're going to have. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to place my back piece on top of my front piece, just as you can see, and I went ahead to leave some space in front because there'll be a joining right there to create our slit at the down region and also at the upper parts. So what I'm going to do now is to cut exactly the same thing of the back for the front at the shoulder region, the sleeve, and down to the side region, but it's going to be different at the front area, starting from the neck depth of the front, which I'm going to be working with 3 inches, and I'll basically mark that here. So remember that we actually worked with 1.5 for the back, so I'm working with 3 inches for the front, which I just basically marked that right there. So next I'm going to do is at this front area where I kept allowance, I'm going to be going out by 1.5 inches, which I'm just going to basically connect all through this area just as you see me do so. So after marking those points and connecting them on my ruler, next I'm do is to determine my neck area of my front. So I'm just going to identify my neck width, which is this area at 2.5. Remember, that was what I used for the back. So I'm just going to mark that right there. And next I will do is to connect it to my neck depth. So I'll just get my ruler to measure my neck depth, which is actually 3 inches, which I'll connect it to the other side. So I'll go ahead and connect both of them together, and then I'll go ahead to draw my curved line for my neck. You can use your free hand, you can use your curved ruler, whichever one you have. So after that, I'll go ahead and simply cancel these places because I will be cutting out all these areas and down to this other part. So this is just me going ahead, marking those areas I'll be cutting out. And then I simply place my back piece on top of my front piece back, so I can go ahead and cut out the areas that I'll be needing. So I just went ahead to open my back halfway, so I can simply go ahead and cut out the front neck, and then place my back so I can go ahead and cut out the shoulder area down to the sleeve and other parts that are necessary. So this is just me cutting everything carefully. So after cutting, this is what you're expected to have. So as you can see, this is the back and then this is the front. So next I'm going to do now is at this area, remember that we actually added 1.5 at the front area. So at this part, I'm going to just be marking this area, and this area that I just marked, I'm going to be stitching it. But before stitching, I'm going to come down by 3 inches from that neckline. I'm going to come down by 3 inches because this is how deep I want my neck slit at the front to be. So from this point now, I'm going to stitch down to the area where my front slits for the down area to begin from. And in order to determine that, I'm going to be placing my tape at 3 inches. Remember that our neck depth there is 3 inches, so I'll be starting from that 3 inches down to determine where I want my down slit to begin from, and I'll just mark that right there, and I'm going to stitch from there down to the point where my slit begins, which I'm going to end my stitch there and leave the other part opened. So after doing that, I'm just simply going to take it over to the machine and sew. And for my neck area, I'm going to be using bias to actually turn my neck. So this is what you basically have. I've gone ahead to actually turn the neck with bias, and I equally went to sew the middle part of the front, leaving the upper parts, which is where my neck slit is going to be. And then I sewed it down to this area, and I stopped at that area there, so that I can have my down slit opened. I equally went ahead to use hemming gum to support those sides down so they don't disturb, and then equally went to fold the sleeve of my dress. And this is basically what we are going to have. As you can see, it's coming out so beautiful already. So after this, now I'm just going to review the back, what it looks like, and this is basically what we have for the back. This is the neck region where I used bias to actually turn the neck, and equally went ahead to fold my sleeve. So next I'll be doing now is to actually cut the inner belt, and I went ahead to get 2 strap, which is at a width of 3 inches, just as you can see it there. And then the length I'll be working with is 30 inches, that is for both of them. So this is just me measuring 30 inches so you can confirm. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and stitch those sizes for both of them. So I've gone ahead to actually stitch the 2 strap, and I'm simply going to get my front now so that I can place those belts at both sides. So in order to place those belts now, what I'm simply going to do is to take my tape to determine my waistline, and my waistline is actually 16 inches. So I'm just going to mark that, and I'll simply do it to the other side. And once I mark my 16 inches, I will simply go ahead and connect it to the midpoint of that front piece, which is that line. So from that midpoint now, I'm just going to go up by 7 inch, and I'll just mark that because that will be the exact position where I'm going to be placing my belts. So I'll do that here and equally do that to the other side. So after marking that there, I'm going to take my belt right now, and I'll simply use my pins to actually support them down for both sides, just as you see me do in this video. So ensure to lift your dress up so you don't have your belt pinned to the table. So after doing this, basically I'll just take it over to the sewing machine. So this is basically what you're going to have after stitching your belt to the front piece. And next I'm just going to do is to place my back piece this way, and then I'll carry my front piece and place on top of the back, and ensure that the shoulders are facing each other. And I'll simply take it over to the sewing machine and sew those sides together, and I'll equally do it for the other parts as well. So this is basically what you're going to have after stitching everything out and giving it a good press. So as you can see, everything is very beautiful and very okay. So if you enjoy watching this video and find it very helpful, please do subscribe, like, share, turn on notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video in this channel. Thank you.